All right. Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for listening. Welcome back to another episode of the Business Owners Freedom Formula Show, where we chat with inspiring entrepreneurs and dig into their highs, lows, and everything between of their business building journey and learn about how they've been able to achieve ultimate freedom. In today's episode number 2, we have another great guest with us here today. But before we get started, just a quick reminder that you can get all the show notes by going to our website, paulmaskill.com. Or if you're on your iPhone, you can simply click on the podcast logo and the show notes will pop right up for you. And if you're looking to mastermind with other like-minded business owners, jump into our free Facebook group at bizfreedomformula.com. And did I mention that all of our podcasts are recorded live, including video with no edit, so you can check these out on Facebook and YouTube as well. So with that said, we are going to jump into it. Today, we have a fantastic guest who just likes to keep herself busy. As an author, entrepreneur, and mom, Mary Kathryn Johnson has created online success since 2003. A fall while pregnant with her second son landed her with 2 broken legs, her first book, and her first business. Mary Kathryn is now using those 13 years of roller coaster family and business success to help parents uncover their entrepreneurial identity so they can create freedom. And she is now building her 4th business, creating a new tool for successful sales funnels using Facebook Messenger. So that's Mary Kathryn Johnson from Parent Entrepreneur Power. Welcome, Mary Kathryn. Thanks for being here. How's it going?
Hey, Paul. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's fantastic over here. How about you?
Doing well. We are hanging out in North Carolina. It's about 70 degrees and sunny, so can't complain. So with that intro, it sounds like you've definitely done everything that I could think of over those 13 years. But if you want to fill us in on what's going on in your life today, that'd be great.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was a mouthful. So the only thing I'll fill in is that I have a husband of, this May will be 34 years.
Wow.
And 2 sons, 15 and 18. And I'll tell you, nothing I've done in business is as difficult as letting go.
I can only imagine.
Just say that.
Very cool. So obviously this all started, it sounds like, when you were pregnant, probably with your second child there. How did you end up getting started? What happened with those broken legs? And a book and a business all came out of that. Give us a little bit more insight on how your entrepreneurial journey started.
I will do this in the Cliff Notes version.
Perfect.
Here, but so basically, it actually started with my first son. My husband and I had been married already 15 years before we decided to have children, and it took us a year to get pregnant the first time. And I'm like, what the heck? I come from a large Italian family. I've never heard of it. Most people don't even have to think about it. So I'm like, what's going on? So finally we get pregnant. Yay, tell everybody, so excited. And 8 weeks later, I have a miscarriage. So that also had never happened that I knew of in my family. And so devastated. It took us another year to get pregnant again. And within 12 weeks, the same thing happened, almost to the day of the first one. And I'm looking, all right, what the heck am I doing wrong? I'm in my 30s, maybe that's it. All the rest of my relatives started getting pregnant in their teens. So, maybe my body just doesn't know how to do this. So finally then a couple months later, we get pregnant again and this one sticks. And through that process, I just felt like I was about probably 5 months pregnant. And I was like, this is like the toughest course I've ever taken in college. I cannot believe this has been so difficult. And I don't know what possessed me, but I went to my, sorry, again, dating myself, Windows 98 computer.
Wow, nice.
And opened up Excel and I created a spreadsheet that looked like a report card. It said fall semester report card, and it had 2 classes that I took in this particular semester. One was Pregnancy 101, and I finally got an A+ in that. And the other one was Pregnancy Prevention, and I finally failed that class. I was so excited. I printed out that piece of paper, went down to Target and bought a blank white maternity shirt, and went down to a sports shop, that puts numbers on jerseys. And
there
said,
you go.
Can you put this on this? And they said, sure. And they did it. And I wore that shirt everywhere and got compliments and comments like you would not believe. Everywhere. Oh my gosh, where did you get that? Oh my gosh, my daughter's a teacher. I've got to get that for my daughter. She's pregnant. Where did you get it? And I'm like, I made it. Make it. And they're like, I don't want to make it. I want to buy it.
There you go.
Ding, 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 ding. Well, before I could make that into anything more, I went into early labor with my first pregnancy and was hospitalized for a week on drugs to make him stay in and keep baking. And so then life takes over. The baby comes, and that goes out the window. I'm no longer in that space. 3 years later, pregnant with the second one, take out that shirt. Same exact thing happens. Only this time I start going a little further with it, start coming up with other designs, thinking, wow, what can I do with this? And before I could go anywhere further with that, I'm walking up my neighbor's front door, and I fall and roll down her front steps and land with 2 broken legs.
Yikes.
One of them was my ankle, my right ankle, and the other was a bone in my foot. Or I'm sorry, reversed, left ankle, right foot. And 8-month pregnant baby hotel, casts up to the knee on both legs.
Yikes.
Yeah, life was quite disturbed. And I went through a depression. I'd never been depressed before. I'm a type A, go get them, in control, all those things. And now I can't even go to the bathroom without a bedside commode sitting next to me, and my husband has to clean it for me. And I can't go anywhere without a walker. So it was a really difficult time. And I got to the other side of it. One of the happiest days of my life was when I had to deliver the baby this way. So casts on both legs. You can imagine those feet don't fit with casts on them. So yeah, that was an interesting situation that is in the book. Not that I'm selling it, but it's funny, and I don't want to hurt any of the ears of people that might be listening.
There you go.
Going into detail. But so I finally got to the end of it, and the most exciting day to that point was the day that I was actually able to walk out of the hospital on my own steam with my own healed leg. Well, I was still in a walking boot, but still, I could actually walk and carry my now 3 or 4 week old son.
Wow.
I couldn't even carry him before then because I couldn't walk on my own. So that was like the most amazing feeling of independence. And now I finally have my life back. And I got a little further from that and looked back on that and said, I finally got through the depression before that actually happened, and started laughing at myself because it was really funny. I mean, bedside commode, I didn't even know what one of those was. And it was not lost on anyone, the similarities between my son's changing table that had to follow me around the house and a bedside commode. We both had toilets, right? So, I mean, I was able to laugh, and I looked back on that and said, if I can get through that with my sense of humor intact, I can do anything.
You can do anything.
I can do anything. And I pulled out that maternity shirt and got to work. And that was my first business, Mommy Loves. It was the very first maternity store online in 2003.
Wow.
And I built it myself, every stinking piece of that thing.
That's impressive. So after that, you could definitely do anything. So along that journey, obviously there was depression, there was babies, there was casts, there was a business, and then a couple other businesses. Give our listeners a little bit. I mean, they've either been through that, they're going through that. Give us a moment where you almost quit and kind of what you did to get yourself over that hump.
I have a very clear moment, definitely, because Mommy Loves was growing from day one. It just basically exploded every year, double-digit growth. And until, of course, 2008. Retail, right? Online retail. And I was hit hard. Half my revenue gone in 2008, another half gone in 2009. And all the while, of course, I'm not just sitting here crying in my soup going, what am I going to do? This is terrible. I'm trying everything. I'm advertising. I'm throwing money at the thing, right? I'm going, well, they just need because I didn't know what was happening. They just need a new design, and I'll put crystals on it. And, which of course made me further in debt. So by the time 2010, 2011 came around, I was $60,000 in debt with a business that was making not even a quarter of what it was in 2007 and 8. And my wonderful accountant, I'm just, trying to keep myself all stoic and I can do this, even though inside I'm dying and, probably giving myself an ulcer. And my accountant looks at me and says, why are you holding on to this business? You're in debt. What are you doing? And I said, well, it can't fail, because if it fails, I fail. And he looked at me and said some of the wisest words anyone's ever said. And he said, you are not your business. And that hit me like a tidal wave.
Yeah.
And of course, the tidal wave started, the tears. I gave him everything. sloppy wet kiss because my accountant happens to be my husband. So I can do that. And I, from there forward, we together, liquidated my 401k, paid off all the debt, sold all my equipment because I was still schlepping stuff in my spare bedroom all by myself, sold my equipment and outsourced the whole business. Now I have someone else making all the shirts. I do the website, or the blogging and designing and all that, but I have someone else taking that off my shoulders.
Awesome.
It took a couple of months and just went, oh my gosh, wow, that was tough. And then went, all right, what next?
Very cool. And I think that's going to resonate with our listeners, because that's really what we always talk about is you aren't your business. And if your business needs you to survive, it's not really a business. Obviously, it's a very stressful job. And when those things come up and you're doing everything, it is even more stressful. So we try and remove ourselves from the business so that, one, it can run without you. And then two, if you do ever want to sell it and you do want that freedom, it is there, because when you sell your business, you don't have to duplicate yourself, because someone is still going to continue to doing what you're doing. So that probably leads us right into kind of scaling your business. It seems like, was that really the pivotal point in scaling the business kind of back up, was, putting those people in place and outsourcing everything, and then really just relieving yourself from all that stress?
Completely. That was, you described it immediately. That was exactly what it was. Just letting it go and having someone else do it and going, yeah, I had to go through that situation to realize I'm not Superwoman. I'm not the end all be all of the universe. Someone else can easily make t-shirts for me.
Perfect.
And fine, I got that. Fine, universe. You didn't have to make me go through all that to tell me that, but maybe you did, because for me, I need, early labor, broken legs, and almost bankruptcy in order to learn these lessons. But then they are all the sweeter. They are all the sweeter because I got that lesson and I ain't going back there.
And that's probably what makes any successful entrepreneur really is you got to learn it the hard way, because then you're never going to make it again. And when you do learn it, you're going to put a system or process in place to make sure it doesn't happen again. So that is fantastic, your journey there. So fast forward to now, where are you at today and what are you doing? It sounds like your t-shirt business is on autopilot. You've got another couple things going on. What are you up to today?
Yeah, I took that and went, man, I had to do all of that while my kids, I started that business when my sons were 18 months and 4 years old. And so all through, and now they, at that point, then they were, 12 and 8 or 9. So all through those years, I was building a business and being mom at the same time because I was staying at home. So I thought, gosh, that's amazing. People were asking me, how do you do that? Here again, they were asking me, how are you doing this? How in the world can you do this? And so I started a podcast, and Parent Entrepreneur Power. And I just started talking to people and interviewing other parents in business. And many of the successful entrepreneurs, many of them specifically online, that we might follow, we don't really realize they're parents because all we see is their business side.
Yep.
So I invited a bunch of parents on, present company included.
Yeah.
And just started talking about, how are you doing this? How I don't like the word balance. I really don't like the word balance. I really look at choices. These are choices. Every minute, every day, I had to make a choice.
Yep.
The most critical I had to do at that moment. And if it was be with my kids, if it was, maybe not make myself look so beautiful, and my son some nice meal instead, then that's the choice I make. So yeah, I started a podcast, and then around that, people coming to me asking me to help them build their businesses as they were parents. So then that turned into a consulting business, and then that turned into some online courses and masterminds. And a lot of my clients, then the next thing that happened, a lot of my clients are in the beauty industry. So they're trainers in the beauty industry and teachers of other like estheticians or hairstylists or cosmetologists. And so they've said, well, I need help. You can teach me how to do this, that's fine, but I need someone to do it. I don't have enough hours in the day to do my job and do marketing and
right.
And so I said, okay, I can do that. And so I started a marketing agency specifically for beauty professionals. And have a team of people working with me to do that. And then the latest that you mentioned is messenger funnels. That just kind of fell in my lap. And I couldn't let it go. I'm a glutton for learning. And nothing, Paul, has really captured me like Mommy Loves did. I was just totally consumed by that idea. Nothing has captured me, consumed me as much as now this messenger funnels has, because I just am like, oh my gosh, the possibilities are absolutely incredible, because my email open rates, to be honest, are maybe 30%.
And that's not bad.
Really good. Yeah. If it's a really good campaign and the open rates are 10, if I'm
Right.
lucky, 10. So yeah, I want something different, because that ain't working.
There you go.
Yeah, it's just been an amazing ride. I'm having so much fun, and now my kids aren't around as much and don't need me as much, so I gotta have something to do with my time.
Yeah.
I can only walk the dog so much, right?
Yeah, you can't sit around and do nothing for too long. So kind of dig in and provide some relevant hows for our aspiring and inspiring entrepreneurs that are listening to this to get to where they want to go. What are some of the things that you actually do on a daily basis to help you manage all these things, make those decisions of, hey, I've got to do this with my kids. Hey, I've got to do this, throw out the balance. What helps you make those choices? And it looks like you're pulling up something there for us. What do you got?
Something, and I'm not an affiliate for this. I'm not doing it. This is not something that I'm trying to push on you or sell, but I'm telling you, you have to have some type of a system. I know you've talked to your audience about systems. Right?
We love systems.
Have a system, and there are two things that I do every day that get me ready and get my head wrapped around what I have to do that day. Because that's what we're talking about. I can be fluff. I can tell you, oh, I was so excited. I was so motivated. I finally got through this broken legs and I was just so good. Yeah, that's great. Those are words, mean nothing until you put action behind them. So daily, they're little things. Don't look for huge. I always think I'm going to do something a lot faster than it actually happens, because I want it to be done.
Yep.
But it never gets done as fast as I think it can. So little baby steps. I'm a parent. Everything I talk about, baby steps. Your kid is not a gazelle. They didn't drop to the ground running. You had to help them with baby steps. So you have to do the same thing. Business is no different. So one thing I do every morning is I call it my power morning routine. And I thank Hal Elrod from Miracle Morning. He introduced me to that concept, and then I twisted it, of course, into my own thing. And I call it power. And each of the letters in power, because of course, parent, entrepreneur, power, you got it. Yeah. Each of the letters power stands for a part of my morning routine. And the first one is peace. That's my meditation time, usually 10 to 15 minutes. I just can't still my brain longer than 15 minutes.
That makes two of us.
Not possible. I tried 20 and forget it. So 10 to 15 minutes, that's power. O is for openness. And openness to me is visualization. Usually there's always going to be something I don't know how to do, but I've seen it done. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to think about doing it, right? So I visualize myself doing it. Even though I don't know all the steps, I still visualize what I think might happen. Then at least I'm open to, when I start to do it, I've kind of seen it before. Okay, so that's O. So I visualize what I need to do that day that I might not know how to do quite yet, or that I'm scared to do. W is three-pronged, just like a W is.
Nice.
W, who needs my love, my attention, my patience, my support today? Usually that's my kids, my clients, and many times it's myself. So who, what are the top 3 simple, specific actions I must do today to move my business forward, to make money, to get me to where I want to go? And I write those down. And the third W is why. Why the heck did I get out of bed this morning? Why am I here? What am I doing? Why am I doing this? So who, what, why. E
Awesome.
is exercise every day, even if it's a walk for the dog with the dogs. Although lately it's PIO with Kathryn Johnson and she's kicking my butt. I can barely lift. Okay, that's fine. And then R is for reading. So reading is some type of and it doesn't always have to be educational. I love Harry Potter, as you can see probably behind me.
I can see J.K. Rowling.
Yes, I love Harry Potter. So even if I just read or listen to one of the audiobooks or something just to wind down, but many times it's reading blog posts, from Kissmetrics or Neil Patel or something, something to further my education. So that's my power morning routine. It usually takes me about an hour.
Awesome.
All totaled. But the other thing I was going to hold up is the
Freedom Journal.
It has helped tremendously to really take that power morning and then take it the next level. And then he also, JLD also has the Mastery Journal, which will really help you with that focus, which is an amazing one too. But then you really break it down to little baby steps. But if you start your day with some kind of a power morning like that, you are primed. You are primed and ready. You can't, if you sink into old habits like just going and browsing and going on Facebook or browsing some blog posts or getting down rabbit holes,
Yeah.
you will know it, because those 3 actions are staring at you going, hello, what you doing? And you're gonna have to make a choice to either ignore those and keep diving down into that hole, or say, all right, darn it, fine, and go do them.
Awesome. No, that's total. We'll definitely link all that up in the show notes, your power routine. The Freedom Journal, I know I listened to John. That was kind of him and Pat Flynn were really one of the first things to get me kind of in the whole entrepreneurial mindset. And obviously he's had great success with the Freedom Journal, the Mastery Journal. And it's really, like you said, anybody can have thoughts, anybody can have words, but in order for you to get to where you want to go, you actually have to take action. And I do the exact same thing. I write things down every morning. I have my gratitude, I have my mindset thing. What am I going to do today? I need to do 2 things today to make sure I get to where I want to go. And I think we were talking on Twitter about that as well. So totally awesome. Definitely have to take care of yourself first. Otherwise, who else is going to do that? And you're definitely not going to take care of your clients if you're not taking care of yourself. So sounds like you've got this thing almost figured out. Entrepreneurs never have it fully figured out. And when we do, then we go look for another challenge to beat us up. So
what the heck? Why do we, I rest. I guess I'll rest when I'm dead.
There you go. I'm with you. I don't think I could sit still for very long. But with all that said, obviously we're all about freedom, and you're enjoying freedom even though you're working and doing things you love. But what is your kind of ideal view of freedom? Obviously you're following a Freedom Journal, so you must have that on top of your mind every day. And how are you making sure you're achieving that?
All right. There are a couple of things I need to say about this, and I'll do them quickly. First off, I don't know if any of your listeners are like me. I assume many of them might be. But I suffer from amazing insecurity. I mean, I'm being honest here. I get all these ideas. I sound like I've got it all together. Like you said, yeah, I've got this going and I've done all this. But I got to be honest with you. I wake up, or I go to sleep sometimes, or can't go to sleep sometimes, because I'm thinking about, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to do this. Who am I to think I can do this? Are you kidding? Why would someone pay me this money to do this? I've done it, but why me? I go through that. I still go through that. It's okay.
It is okay.
It gets easier. And I wake up every morning going, there's a reason someone came to me. And it's not because I'm BSing them. It's not because I got a good talk, because if it was, I wouldn't get results. So shut up, head. And that's crazy amygdala back there. There's a little thing in the back there that's its purpose. I say, shut up, amygdala. Not doing it. We're not going there today. Sometimes I let them go there, and I go off. I don't get anything productively done. It's okay. Tomorrow morning is another day with no mistakes in it. Okay? And another one of my favorite movies and books. Anyway, so that's number 1. Number 2, I already have that freedom, and I'm living it. This last summer was the first time I proved that to myself. And my family and I took a month-long trip to Europe. And my businesses kept going and doing what they needed to do. The podcast still was published every week. Everything ran. But my family and I got to go on what my husband lovingly called our blood trail. Yeah, I married him. It's my fault. Anyway, but no, it's because we got our DNA tested.
Wow, that's awesome.
We got our DNA tested through Ancestry and found out what portions of our DNA were. And then each of us in the family got to choose which country we wanted to visit based on our DNA. And then whichever country we chose, then we had to be the ones to direct what the whole family did in that country.
Awesome.
It was so incredible, Paul. It was just incredible. My husband chose Norway. My oldest son chose Paris. My youngest son chose London, and I chose Italy. And so we just trekked around Europe, staying in Airbnbs, the best thing ever.
It is. We just stayed in our first one this weekend with our 9-month-old, and it was, I don't know if we'll ever stay in a hotel again.
I never will. I know, especially Europe, everything's smaller. So we couldn't find a room with 2 double beds.
Right.
Didn't work. So we'd have to pay $800 for 2 rooms.
Yeah.
$1,600 a night. Are you kidding me? So yeah, and it was amazing. But when we were in Norway, we had to rent a car, and we show up and we got off the plane, 13 hours, sun never set. We get off like zombies, and we get to the airport, and the guy's like, in his very broken English, "You're from California?" And I said, "Yeah." And well, you must know about Tesla. Well, yeah, I heard of them. Well, how about we rent you a Tesla?
Wow.
Okay. Sure.
We could do that.
I can rent a Tesla. Oh my gosh, that's it. My next car will be a Tesla. Just saying. And I'm very frugal, so I'm not going to get a $100,000 car.
No.
I'm sorry, it's $100,000. I'm not spending it on a car. I don't care how much money I have. They have a new version coming out that's about 40, so I can handle that.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I'm living that freedom. That's what it's about. We make the choices every day and push and do what we need to do, but at the same time, make the choices to be with our family, so that when opportunities happen or when we want to create opportunities that we've always wanted, we can do that. And freedom, the next step will be my husband and I, once my youngest son is through with high school, which will be in about a year or so, by 2020, we will actually be living in Europe at least 6 months of the year.
Awesome. And your businesses will still be running.
They will be running. I'll still do Skype calls with people. They have internet access over there, so I think I'll be all right.
You'll be all right. Yeah. I mean, that's awesome. And I think that's what I'm striving for. That's what you're striving for. You're doing it. And that's what our listeners really looking to do. And I think obviously it wouldn't be possible if you had all those systems and processes and automation in place so that your business can run without you. You kind of, detach yourself from that emotional, this is the business I built and I got to be there every day, which is not easy because you built it, it's your baby. But once you get a taste of that freedom, and I had the same thing once I started delegating and saw that the business didn't change and the quality didn't change, it was the best thing ever. So awesome. Well, Mary Kathryn, this has been awesome. But as you know, all good things do come to an end. After all, we are all about freedom on the show, so we don't want to take up too much of your time or our listeners' time. But before we sign off, it is time for our rapid recommendations for all things related to systems, automation, and freedom. So I'm going to give you 6 things, 6 topics, and you're going to give me one recommendation for our listeners to get to where they want to go quicker. So number 1 book.
The book I would say is something that's not business related, or actually I can. Okay. Actually, it's here again. It's right here. The Code of the Extraordinary Mind.
Awesome.
Okay.
Code of Extraordinary Mind. We will link that up. And one quote that has helped you or kind of motivates you to put those systems and processes and build your business.
It is our choices that tell who we truly are far more than our abilities. And I'm paraphrasing that quote. But it's from Albus Dumbledore from Harry Potter.
Awesome.
It's our choices, not our abilities, that show who we truly are.
Very cool. And then out of all the cool tech tools out there, what is your number 1 tool?
Right now, it's Messenger.
Facebook Messenger. So if you're not on Facebook Messenger with your business, you should be. And Mary Kathryn is the go-to person for that.
Even if you're not, you can sell in Facebook. Let me just tell you that.
You can. Number 1 podcast that you listen to regularly.
I am listening to Mixergy on a regular basis. I'll give you 2, and you know them as well. Mixergy with Andrew Warner, and of course, Smart Passive Income with Pat Flynn.
Pat Flynn. Beautiful. And if you are on Facebook, what is your favorite group or community that you hang out with?
I have 2 that I've been hanging out with most, and 3. So one is She Podcasts, Podcasting and Women. The other is She's Building Her Empire with Stacy Tuschel. She's a gal that was on my podcast. I hang out there. And then Mom Entrepreneur Lifestyle, I think, with Mariana Ruiz. So it's all around moms, businesses, podcasting. Those are my groups.
Perfect. So if you are a mom and if you are a business owner or you want to be a business owner, check out those groups. Ironically, today is National Women's Day. So if you are watching this live on Facebook or YouTube, definitely go check those out and celebrate National Women's Day. So before we go, what is your parting piece of advice for any business owner out there who is stuck like you were, burned out like you were, or just trying to get over the hump?
Tomorrow's another day, baby. Tomorrow's another day. And even though it's tough and you drag yourself out, what's the next choice? And the next choice. Don't look at 5 years. Don't look at the mountain of the things you have to do. Just the next choice. That's it. And then do the next one, and you will get there. Walk like you know where you're going, and you're going to get there.
You are, and you can't climb a mountain without taking that first step. So it is all about choices. You make choices every day and how you spend your time and what you want to do. So Mary Kathryn Johnson, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to impart some of your knowledge, wisdom, and enthusiasm to our community. Hopefully this helps everyone out there get one step closer to achieving ultimate freedom in their business and in life. But before we sign off, where can our listeners go to keep in touch with you?
Oh my goodness. ParentEntrepreneurSuccess.com is the website. Of course, Parent Entrepreneur Power on iTunes, Parent ePower and Twitter. But you know what? If you just want to email me and start a conversation, Mary@ParentEntrepreneurPower.com. And of course, you can go to Facebook and start messaging me directly. And that's instantaneous instead of email. And you can go to Messenger Funnels on Facebook and start a conversation there too.
Awesome. So we'll definitely get all that linked up in the show notes, ParentEntrepreneurSuccess.com, Parent ePower on Twitter, Facebook Messenger, and then messengerfunnels.com if you want to learn more about her messenger funnels, how she's creating leads and sales every day through Facebook Messenger pretty instantly. So thanks again. Everybody else out there, stay tuned for next week's episode as we dive into another fantastic interview with John Butt from Marketing for Owners. And if you like what you're hearing, we're always appreciate a friendly review, subscribe, and share with your friends. Until next time, don't forget to join our free Facebook group, bizfreedomformula.com, where we can continue this conversation with like-minded entrepreneurs who are putting the plans in place to work less, make more, while increasing the value of their business and achieving ultimate freedom. So until then, keep rocking, trust the process, and talk to you soon. See ya.